Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is also moving this week. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, and that is right. I know it's not the screen and what you're used to, so I'm kind of doing some makeshift stuff. I am moving this week into my new place in Portland, Oregon, so it's gonna be kind of crazy. In fact, this week and next week's show may look a little different than new studio. I want to spend a little time building out kind of a new look, a new vibe, a new feel for the show. So this one's gonna be a little more intimate, a little more Spartan, and unfortunately, no bad jokes over my shoulder. I'm sorry, I know some of you guys tune in for the really terrible bad jokes or dad jokes or whatever they call the things, but I promise they'll be back. I'll have some way to do bad jokes. But before we get in, a little shameless self-promotion. It is Cyber Monday, and by the way, if you guys didn't see, I did a really in-depth video of all the Cyber Monday Black Friday deals going on in the airsoft world, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some incredible deals, like $400+ guns, in the $169 range up to like $200. I mean, incredible deals on like E&L, VFC, big brands. So if you guys haven't watched it, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw the thing right up over here on my shoulder. There should be like some little link you can click over here in the corner and take you over to watch that. When we're done here, or when you watch it, come on back and join me. Also, before we jump into questions, real quick, I've got patches. I have these. Don't forget, I've got my woven patch set, the Call Your Hits, the Hello My Name Is, which is a brand new one, and then the yellow logo patch. These are $8 shipped anywhere worldwide. And then I also have my little Ranger Eye set here. You get a pair of these for $12. If you guys have been holding out for Airsoftology patches, I've got this for the holiday season. And in fact, you know what? Since it's Cyber Monday, I'm gonna go ahead and put a coupon code up for you guys. So right over here, coupon code over my shoulder. If you guys wanna use that on the web store, it'll be good all this week until next Monday. So if you guys are holding out, there's your coupon code for the web shop. All right, guys, well, that's it for me. So it's time to jump into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the Palco mail call. Samuel Moses keeps asking the most important question and the most asked one here on the channel. When is the Krytac Kriss Vector coming out? All right, well, I can stop saying soon and start saying an actual date now. The cat is out of the bag, proverbially, there you go. Use my English correctly. And that is 3/31 of 2017. So that is March 31st, the end of March 2017, you can get your AEG Krytac Kriss Vector, the electric version that I teased in a video. I actually had a chance to dry fire it really, their early factory prototype version. So pretty impressed with it then. So stay tuned. We're looking at the very end of March. So 1st of April, it is not gonna be an April Fool's joke. Thank goodness they didn't do 4/1/17, because I would have called shenanigans. Caesar the Skater writes, what attachment should beginning airsoft players buy first? It really depends on where you play. If you're playing indoors, I would say absolutely positively your first investment should be a flashlight. Hands down. You're going to be happy with that because it's going to give you the ability to see and trace your BBs in the air, to find your opponents in the dark. I think that is probably the most important accessory for airsoft. For outdoors, if you have a really big field, you can look at like a red dot optic or even a scope, magnified scope. Although magnified scopes have limited use in airsoft, they can be beneficial to track your opponents. So I would say that is probably my next thing if you're doing an outdoor game, like so red dot or something. I personally like that. But you don't have to have it. I mean, just regular old iron sights work just fine. I mean, heck, in indoor airsoft, you don't even need sights. And I know that everybody's gonna be going, oh, Jonathan, don't feed into the speed softer thing. But no, honestly, you don't. I do aim down sights. So I'm an ADS guy. I bring it up, I look down the sights, either iron sights. I'm always anywhere I'm shooting. It's just my habit, what I've done for years playing airsoft and a little bit of the real stuff I shoot. It's just something I can't break, and I would never break. Even in my paintball days, I still look down the barrel. That's long gone. That's been decades ago. But yeah, I think those are probably the first two accessories you should buy. Let me take one more step back before that, though. If you don't have it, I will say this. The number one thing you should pick up if you don't have it, not an accessory for your gun, but accessory for everything else, is a smart charger. That would be the number one. So behind that, definitely look at those other two, depending on where you play indoors or out. But the smart charger would be the highest thing on my list for an accessory for a first-time airsoft purchase. Kurt Williams, could you recommend any good lower-priced full-seal goggles? I'm not sure what to look for in a good goggle. So low price sometimes means cheap, sometimes doesn't mean really ANSI Z-rated. So we're gonna dial it back for one quick second. So we're talking about Z-rating or protection ratings on goggles. You need to have an ANSI Z-rated goggle. I think it's 87.1 or something like that. Forgive me for my ignorance on the actual statute of the number, but it needs to say ANSI, ANSI Z-rated on the goggles for you to be able to use it at a field and have the proper protection. Otherwise, it's just a piece of polycarbonate that's never been tested for impact. So that said, you want to buy something I would say is name brand. Avoid the super duper cheap knockoff stuff. With that in mind, I do have a set of goggles. They are very low profile, like almost like glasses, and they are OEM'd by other companies. In fact, if you guys know the Vulcan glasses, they have, I think they go under the Sierra line, the dual pane, the thermal lens ones. I think it's that or the Zulu. I can't remember which one. But these are the actual company that makes it OEM for them. So I hate to bypass an airsoft company, but when you're talking about saving as much money as you can by doing this, it is a good deal. And you can pick them up on Amazon. I'll have a link to Amazon, the actual thing, in the description below. So if you guys want to go over and check them out, I'll have that Amazon affiliate link down there. You can get them in 3 different colors. They come in like an amber, they come in a gray, and they come in a clear. I have both in clear and in gray. They're like 20 bucks or under. You get the full seal on it. They come with regular sunglasses, or they come with a strap you can change. And then the sunglasses part has a strap on the back. Some fields do require that strap to be on. It is also, like I said, full seal around your eyes, and being thermal lenses mean you're gonna have very limited fogging. Nothing is fog proof, but these do a darn good job. My personal favorite, and when they do get messed up, it's not incredibly expensive to where you're like, oh my God, I just broke $100, set of goggles or more. These are like under 20, so you can definitely save there. So anyway, if you guys are interested, like I said, links below in the description. Ben Theodore writes, hey Jonathan, do mock suppressors make airsoft guns quieter? Depending on the airsoft gun, well, let me dial back. Yes, they will. But in some cases, it doesn't matter. So if you're looking at an AEG or an automatic electric gun, so your standard airsoft gun that has a battery and gears and a motor and all that good stuff, yeah, it will lower the sound coming out of the muzzle. So if you don't run the barrel, so let's say your barrel stops here and you got your suppressor that comes out to here. As long as your barrel, you don't run a longer inner barrel in there and it stops and it uses a foam. You need foam inside of there, which can be a challenge in the US to get a hold of. It will muffle the crack of the BB. So that little pop sound as the air leaves the barrel, it will do a good job of doing that. Also on that, it will work on pretty much any kind of gun, not just AEG, but also an HPA gun. On the AEG, however, most of your sound is gonna be coming from the mech box and the gears and the motor and all of that, so it's not gonna be measurably different. You're not gonna go, wow, that's a huge difference. It might change the sound a little bit, and it will, downrange. But to you, it's not gonna make that big of a difference, and it's not gonna probably bring you down to a level where you can really sneak up on people and get the drop on them. Now, you move into gas guns. Let's say you're looking at a blowback gas pistol, one that actually cycles. Again, same thing as the AG. Most of the sound's gonna come from when it cycles, and the sound's gonna escape from the actual side of the pistol as it cycles. But a non-blowback gas pistol or non-blowback rifle, it will make a big difference, just like it will on an HPA gun, which I think makes the biggest difference. Both of those cases, a non-blowback gas blowback gun, and then which means the slide doesn't actually cycle or anything on a pistol like that. If you can get a revolver, sometimes those have a little other areas where it makes more noise, but definitely like an automatic pistol. Notably, the Tokyo Marui Mark 23, I call it the Whispering Butterfly of Death, is probably the most quiet pistol. It comes with a foam suppressor. If you can find the kit, they're super hard to track down. The thing is incredibly quiet, and the same thing goes for a Polar Star, HPA, Wolverine, any kind of S&P, whatever you're running, doing that and putting it on the end. It will significantly drop the sound to the point where you can get the drop on people and they probably still don't know where you are. So I hope that helps sort out the mystery and science, not really science, but how foam suppressors work in airsoft and which guns they're good on and which ones they're not. All right, guys, that is it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one is probably a channel you already subscribed to. So if you haven't clicked on it in a while and it didn't pop up to the top of your YouTube recommended feed, this is one you definitely want to get a look at, because this is one freaking cool video, especially me being a child of the late 80s. Well, 80s in general. Yes, I am old. But that in mind, amazingly cool edit of DesertFox and probably some of his best montages over the years, jammed into a full 1980s VHS inspired video. I have to admit, seeing the editing and what it took to go into this video to get it produced is absolutely incredible. He did such an amazing job, and I know it took him days and days to get this done. Because I mean, looking at this myself, doing editing, I would be pulling my hair out trying to get this done in anything short of less than a week. So with that said, if you guys haven't watched Jet's channel, if you do subscribe, you're like, Jonathan, this is old news, go pound sand, I'll go do it. But if you haven't checked it out, definitely give it a look. I know, like I said, a huge channel. Some of you guys are for it, some of you guys against it, but definitely give him a look. And this is worth the watch no matter what you think. All right, guys, that is it this week. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out here and being so freaking awesome in the comment section below. You guys are so cool down there. You're great. You help each other out because I can't pretty much answer any question or all the questions, but I do read all the questions every single week. But before the next week, like before this show, I read all the last week questions, a lot of them, and that's where I get my pool from. So if you guys didn't get your question on the show, do not be discouraged. You'll see there's some that have been here for a while I've been saving, been paying attention to. So make sure to be persistent. Come back on the next Monday, come back on this Monday, and ask that question again, and I will eventually get on the show. I will. I wish I could run this thing for hours. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and until next week, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, enjoy your Cyber Monday, and buy some cool airsoft stuff. But until then, call your freaking hits.